Hi, Erin here, life and leadership coach. I'm super excited to be here with you. I've been a life coach and business strategist for over 30 years. I love working with business owners and leaders in corporations, and mom and dad are the CEO of your family. But I do love helping you go from feeling stuck and overwhelmed and self doubt to becoming focused and fearless and excited about your life and your business, because one without the other is not the complete package. So that's what this series is all about, helping you, the leader of your company, the leader within a company, or the leader of your family, become more focused, fearless, and excited about life and what it is that you do, give you the clarity and the direction. All right. So, which clarity actually, clarity unlocks direction. It really, the clarity unlocks, write this down. I love this. Clarity unlocks direction. Without it, you don't feel lost. You feel trapped. You feel stuck. Right. So, clarity and direction is super, super important. And that's why I'm doing this series. So let's get into it. I have my notes right here. And your body often speaks long before your schedule allows you to listen. Your body is the instrument of the mind. Okay. So whatever it is that you're thinking, your body literally is the instrument of the mind. So your body gets to work on, if it's anxiety, body's going to work on anxiety, and chest gets tight, and you get the stomach pain, and or if you're in joy, and you're in enthusiasm and optimism, these are like just really powerful, really good hormones that are going off in your body, and you feel so good, and your energy feels expanded, and your heart feels good and strong, and everything feels relaxed, because the body's the instrument of the mind. So cool. It's super, super important. Really, really good to know this. All right. So when you don't have this and you're experiencing fatigue and tension, a quiet sense that something isn't right, when you're still showing up and you're still trying to get done what it is that you want to get done, this isn't weakness, it's information. It's awareness. So again, I want you to hear this, because as entrepreneurs and leaders, you often feel that if you don't have it all figured out and you don't have it, if it's not going right, then there's some form of weakness going on within you. And that's not the case at all. This is data. This is information, right? So just allow yourself to shift that mindset, to go from there's something wrong with you or your strategy to it's just information where you can just gain clarity and make different choices and have a better direction. That's all. Okay. A little shift in mindset, goes a long way. And again, this is not just about fluffy kind of mindset talk. This is literally about transforming your life and your business if you're a business owner. Super, super powerful. Okay. Again, it's not weakness, it's information gathering. And here's what most people don't realize, when you're going through this. The body isn't breaking down, it's compensating. Write it down. Write this down. Your body isn't breaking down, it's compensating. When clarity is missing in your life, your body often carries the load. Again, because the body's the instrument of the mind, right? Especially for people who are used to pushing through, taking responsibility, and being the strong one. And you know who you are. You know when you feel like the response, if you don't get it done, it won't get done right, or it won't get done at all. You're the one that always got it done. You got stuff done, and so everybody counts on you and everybody looks to you to get it done and get it done right. And that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself, where when something doesn't go the way you expect it to go, then you think that's a sign of weakness, that you're letting people down. And it's not. It's just information, and the body's going to give you feedback for what it is that you're thinking. So if you're in a mindset of you're stressing out and you're doubting the decisions that you're making as a leader, right? And you're in that self-doubt, believe me when I tell you, those people that you're leading will feel your energy. They'll feel it. And then they're not going to have 100% trust in the decisions that you're making or the direction that you're going, if you're giving off the energy of you're pushing through and you're getting it done because you have to get it done, but you're not getting it done with the clarity, which means that your direction is off. Got to have that vision, that North Star, so that every decision you make throughout the day is in line with that ultimate destiny. So when you're leading, right, they actually see it clearly where they need to go. And when they see that you're doing it with ease and with confidence, your self-image is there, like how you see yourself getting it done in the most appropriate way with grace and ease without any tension. then they'll have the self-trust in you as well. Okay? Because self-image is how you see yourself, which leads to how you feel about yourself, which is self-confidence. How you see yourself, mindset. How you feel about yourself, that's the body, mind, body coherence. Again, self-image, look in the mirror and say, "I'm an amazing leader," and say instead of looking in the mirror and saying, "Oh God, what is that on my face?" Or, "Oh my God, how am I going to walk into this meeting? I'm prepared, but what if, I don't make it as powerful as I know it could be?" And you begin to go into that self-doubt. Your body is going to feel that and store that so that when you go to that meeting, your body's going to say, "A-okay, here we go." And then you're gonna trip over your words and you go into, that's how it works. So you wanna work at stretching your self-image to where you prepare as best you can because you always wanna show up in this world as the best version of you, right? I have allergies right now. I'm showing up as the best version of me, where my voice is a little hoarse, with the allergies and everything else. But I know that what I wanna deliver here is going to help you and transform the way you see yourself and your business and this world so that my clarity is here. My clarity is here. If I waited to be perfect, it would never get done. So you don't have to be perfect, right? As a leader, you don't have to be perfect, but you also don't want to go into self doubt about what it is that you want to accomplish. Showing up as the best version of you is just showing up with a healthy self image, which leads to the healthy self confidence and the self esteem and the self trust to be able to lead your team. And then they have the trust in you and then they trust themselves because they know that they're on a mission and your team is going to get it done a lot more efficiently and appropriately than if you lead with force. Or back in the 80s, command and control was a big thing. Do as I say, not as I do. And it didn't work. It created a lot of anxiety in the workplace, and when that stopped, production went through the roof with regard to the employees. When they were given the respect and the space and the container to be able to work in a healthy environment without feeling like they were in just, I don't know, in a dictatorship kind of an environment, the productivity went through the ceiling. The net bottom line was amazing. It got so much stronger. And this is what you want as an entrepreneur, or as a leader within a company that has that as a priority. All right. So, let's get back to my notes because I can go on about leadership and everything else, but I want to stay on point with this. Okay. So I do see this often with business owners during seasons of growth and change, right? When decisions pile up, boundaries become blurred and rest keeps getting postponed. When you're going through change, right? When you're growing and you're going through change, it's usually uncomfortable. And I want you to really embrace that uncomfortability because all the magic happens in the unknown. The magic doesn't happen when you're comfortable. It's predictable, it's consistent, boring, and you're not going to grow as much. Like I said, the net bottom line or just your communication and the connection with those that you love and those that are around you. It's not going to get deeper. It's not going to grow. It'll be predictable and consistent and it won't change. But when you do this work, then yes, everything, when you get uncomfortable, when you can get comfortable with the uncomfortability that you need to embrace to grow and change, you will just keep going through a portal and going next level. And that's your new foundation. And then you go through a portal and you go next level, and that's your new foundation again. And you won't go below that last foundation because you keep growing and growing and growing, and you're creating your world on rock and not sand. When you do this work that I'm sharing with you, you are creating your world, whether it's personally or professionally, on rock and not sand. All right. And I want you to be as healthy as humanly possible as you're going through this, because as many of you know, I had cancer in 1991. After I was working on Wall Street, fully licensed with the Series 763, the insurance license, fully just power lunches, the overachiever that I was. And at 25, I ended up with non-Hodgkin's lymphoblastic lymphoma, which took me out of Wall Street, but put me on this trajectory with personal and professional development. which I love, love. And I've been doing this for the last 30 plus years because the doctors at Sloan started having their patients call me at home because they couldn't explain how I kept living every time they said I'd die. No, no joke. No, I'm not kidding. They would call my parents to come to the hospital to say goodbye, that I wasn't going to make it out of the hospital. And that's when I was 25. And here I am. It was 1991 and I was 25 years old. You can do the math on that one. I'm not giving away my age that easily, but I am very proud of it. All right. So, all that being said, and then even like with the congestive heart failure after COVID and everything else, it just that showed up because my body was like, I didn't know I didn't do grief, right? So when I would experience something that would cause anybody to feel grief, whether it was a passing of a loved one or just anything that would cause sadness to that level, I would go into the grief for about a millisecond and then I would get angry and I would get stuff done that needed to get done from a place of anger as opposed to grief. And the anger served me in the sense that I got stuff done and I my sister passed away in 2017 of cancer and I did a summit to help. That was a telesummit back in the day when it was called telesummits. I think it was 2017 to inspire cancer patients because I wanted them to know about meditation and visualization and affirmations, all these things that we could do for ourselves because the body is the instrument of the mind. Okay. And that's what this is all about. And I wanted the world to know because I would ask for doctors, please, I'm telling her to meditate. I'm telling her to visualize. And I'm her sister. I was a big sister. Like, stop telling me what to do. And I love my sister so much. So I went to the doctors, like, please encourage this. And so anyway, when instead of going into grief, I went into anger and I was going to teach the world what they need to do, all the cancer patients what they need to do. And I did. But what I was doing from a place of anger and I got stuff done, it didn't allow me to grieve and to do what I needed to do to release all of that pain and all of that, the emotions that go with grief. When I ended up with congestive heart failure a few years ago during this time period, it forced me to learn that and to go deeper. And that's been my work that I'm sharing with you personally here is to learn how to grieve. And by doing that and just journaling and the explosion of tears that have come out, literally with the journaling and going back through, the first 5 years of my life, the second 5 years, to 10, then to 15, to 20, and go through all like a lifetime of what didn't I grieve? And it was a process and it was a painful process. But my God, on the other side of that, I feel amazing, and it's just, you get stronger and stronger and stronger. The more you go within and you figure out what's going on with you from within, as opposed to the external 3D and looking for validation and looking for answers and everything to the 3D when you can go in and that's the main thing that you do. And then you partner with people that can help you in the 3D, but they're, like you're the leader of your world, of your personally and professionally. When you take personal responsibility and you go within for the answers, and some of those answers are, okay, I need to have a consult with a doctor. I need to have a consult with an attorney. I need to have a consult with whomever, that you need to have as you're going through the process that you need to go through. Mine is grief to help my body, right? Mind, heart, coherence to help my body. Then, I started doing the consults and I started doing what I needed to do in that way. And it was and continues to be an amazing process. And I want the same for you. I don't want you to hold on to things that you don't even know are there, and it's energy that's stored up that makes us sick. Again, the body's just responding to what the mind is thinking. And a lot of it is subconscious, and a paradigm is something, it's like trying to look at the back of your head. A paradigm is a cluster of beliefs and habits stored in the subconscious mind. We don't know it's there. I didn't know I wasn't grieving. It was subconscious. The anger thing worked for me and I got everything done and I made my point and I fixed a lot of things and I changed a lot of things that needed to be changing within systems, but it didn't help me 1,000% with what I needed to release from my own body. So all that being said, I want to share with you and invite you to do that work as well, right? To quiet your mind and get into your heart and begins to do that work. Okay, so here is the simple practice. Simple, not easy. Simple practice that you can try this week. Once a day, pause for just a moment and ask, what is my body asking for right now? And again, this comes from my experience and from working with clients around the world and having them do the same thing. And I have testimonials, you can go to my website of how much that this has helped in every way. Again, growing personally and growing their businesses professionally. So once a day, pause for just a moment and ask, what is my body asking for right now? More space, more rest, or more honesty? Okay. And pick one and respond gently. No fixing required. Be gentle with yourself. Give yourself, like, close your eyes and visualize yourself giving yourself a hug, holding on to your heart, and just allowing it to express itself fully. So many of us have heart walls that we build and we put up to protect ourselves, and I invite you to help to release those walls and let your heart just be 100%. And I don't mean just the physical structure, energetically as well. Okay. So, also, if you'd like a gentle starting point, as you know, I say weekly that I have the free Life on Track the quiz that you can do, the clarity quiz. And it's quick, it's maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes to do the quiz. And it'll give you like an orientation of where you're at. It'll give you a little clarity around where you're at. So then you can decide where you want to go from there. And if you are ready, if your body's like, you know what? I need to do the work, and your mind and heart decide that you want to go even deeper and take the next step and do the clarity and direction session with me, you can go to 90-minute session. You can go to yourclaritysession.com. Again, it's a 90-minute session structured for you to find out, where you're strong and where you need support and what your next steps are. All right. That's clarity and direction. So I invite you to go there. And also, if you are enjoying what I'm speaking about each week, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button and share this also with those that you feel, your family, your friends, your coworkers, your team, anybody in your world that could benefit from this as well. I'd love for you to share it. And for this week, have a great week. Have a magnificent day. And always remember to live onward and upward. Love you.